Thank you and good morning. Would everyone please rise for the singing of our national anthem, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by Military Order of the Loyal Legion, Ohio Commandery member and Cold War veteran Jody Stevenson.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We will now have Ohio Commandery member and the Military Order of the Loyal Legion of the United States, Robert Rock, come forward to give the invocation.
Good morning. We could bow our heads, please. And now, O God, bless thou this memorial. Bless it, O God, in honor of mothers who bade their sons to do brave deeds, in honor of wives who wept for husbands who should never come back again, in honor of children whose heritage is their fallen father's heroic name, in honor of men and women who ministered to the hurt and dying, but chiefly, O God, in honor of men who counted not their lives dear when their country needed them, of those alike who sleep beside the dust of their kindred, or under the salt sea, or in nameless graves, where only thine angels stand sentinels till the reveille of the resurrection morning. Protect it and let it endure, and unto the latest generation may its influence by and for the education of the citizen, for the honor of civil life, for the advancement of the nation, for the blessing of humanity, and for the furtherance of thy holy kingdom. Amen.
Next, we have past National President of the Ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic, Lynn Berry, giving remarks on the day.
Good morning. We gather here today on President's Day, which was originally established in 1885 in recognition of President George Washington. This holiday became popularly known as President's Day after it was moved as part of 1971's Uniform Monday Holiday Act. We pay tribute not only to the birthday of the commander of the Continental Army during the American Revolution and the first U.S. President of the United States, but rather also we celebrate the office of the presidency and we honor our great nation's presidents.
Now we have Gordon Berry, past Commander-in-Chief of the Military Order of the Loyal Legion of the United States, sharing more about today.
"160 years ago today, on a day much like today, President-elect Abraham Lincoln arrived late this afternoon in Cleveland in the midst of a rain and snow storm. He was greeted at the Euclid Street station by Mayor Geo Center. A large crowd of 10,000 people and a local military escort made up of the Light Dragoons, the Cleveland Artillery, and the Cleveland Greys. With him was his son, Robert, at his side. They traveled down Euclid Avenue in an open carriage to Public Square, and then to the Window House. At that time, the Window House was a posh hotel located on the corner of Bank, now West 6th Street, and Superior Avenue. On this corner now stands the Rockefeller Building, and there is a plaque designating that Lincoln's stay was on February 15, 1861. Lincoln addressed the crowd, urging all citizens to support the Constitution and the Federal Union, and later attended a reception held that evening in the hotel. The next day, the Cleveland Greys escorted the Lincoln Party to the Union Depot, where they departed for Buffalo, New York.
And now Tim Daly, Associate Member of the Ohio Commandery of the Military Order of the Loyal Legion of the United States, will be sharing the actual speech of President-elect Abraham Lincoln.
An account of President Lincoln's speech. Mr. Chairman and fellow citizens of Cleveland, we have been marching about 2 miles through snow, rain, and deep mud. The large numbers that have turned out under these circumstances testify that you are in earnest about something or another. But do I think so mainly of you as to suppose that the earnestness is about me personally? I would be doing you an injustice to suppose you did. You have assembled to testify your respect to the Union, the Constitution, and the laws. And here, let me say that it is with you, the people, to advance the great cause of the Union and the Constitution, and not with any one man. It rests to you alone. This fact is strongly impressed on my mind at present. In a community like this, whose appearance testifies to their intelligence, I am convinced that the cause of liberty and the Union can never be in danger. Frequent allusion is made to the excitement at present existing in our national politics, and it is as well that I should also allude to it here. I think that there is no occasion for any excitement. The crisis, as it is called, is although an artificial crisis. In all parts of the nation, there are differences of opinions in politics. There are differences of opinion even here. You did not all vote for the person who now addresses you. What is happening now will not hurt those who are further away from here. Have you not all your rights now as you have ever had? Do they not have their fugitive slaves returned now as ever? Have they not the same Constitution that they have lived under for 70-odd years? Have they not a position as citizens of this common country? And have we no power to change this position? What then is the matter with them? With all the excitement? Why all these complaints? As I said before, this crisis is all artificial. It has no foundation in facts. It is not argued up, as the saying is, and cannot therefore be argued down. Let it alone, and it will go down of itself. Mr. Lincoln said that they must be content with but a few words from him. He was very fatigued and had spoken so frequently that he was already hoarse. He thanked them for the cordial and magnificent reception they had given him. Not less did he thank them for the votes they gave him last fall, and quite as much he thanked them for the efficient aid that they had given the cause which he represented, a cause he would say was a good one. He had one more word to say. He was given to understand that this reception was not tendered by his own party supporters, but by men of all parties. This is as it should be. If Judge Douglas had been elected and had been here on his way to Washington, as I am tonight, the Republicans should have joined his supporters in welcoming him, just as his friends have joined with mine tonight. If all do not join now to save the good old ship of the Union, this voyage nobody will have a chance to pilot her on another voyage. He concluded by thanking all present for their devotion that they had shown to the cause of the Union.
We will now have Elizabeth Rock, National President of the Ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic, share remarks, followed by a laying of a wreath.
We have assembled here that this beautiful commemoration should take place on the 160th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln visiting Cleveland, to celebrate President's Day and Lincoln's birthday on February 12th. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, with malice toward none, with charity for all, with firmness in the right as God gives us to see the right, let us strive on to finish the work we are in, to bind up the nation's wounds, to care for him who shall have borne the battle, and for his widow and his orphan, to do all which may achieve and cherish a just and lasting peace among ourselves and with all nations. In the name of the ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic, I deposit these memorial flowers upon this monument, which represents those that fought in the sacred cause of our country from Cuyahoga County, Ohio. We pay tribute to the memory of Abraham Lincoln and our great presidents, as the living will not forget. Our floral tribute shall wither. Let the tender fraternal love for which it stands endure until the tough of death shall chill the warm pulse beat of our hearts.
A patriotic reading will be given by Janice Stevenson, National Treasurer of the Ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic.
I am the flag. I proudly wave from lofty staffs. My streaming folds float from sun-kissed spires, and I have time to look down on the years and years of my existence. I came into being with visions and dreams of better things for this great country, for the mind and heart of woman whose deft fingers stitched together my glorious colors and bore the sons who fought for the freedom I represent. I am looked upon as a thing of beauty, an object of reverence and a source of hope and inspiration to countless millions. But it is not my beauty, my form, the glory of my colors, or the material which I am made of that makes me proud or will move or sway the human heart. I am only a symbol. A mother sees in me the fulfillment of her child's future. The father regards me as a protection hovering over the home. To the youth, I am the embodiment of dreams made real. To those who worship the promise of freedom, whatever the creed. For I look down upon all those who honor me with their salute, feeling that I am one with every heartthrob. In times of stress, I am called upon for service, not always to my liking. I am invoked to arouse slumbering devotion of men for their native land. I float not only o'er the land, but sail the high seas in war to fill the hearts of men with vigor and courage in the struggle to ensure freedom from oppression, and my soft folds drape caressingly the earthly remains of our patriotic dead. In all this I am glorified, but I may wonder if my people have forgotten the true and fine things I symbolize, for my greatest glory is derived from true living. I look past the interludes of war, and I see the children play, schoolhouses and church that proclaim freedom of learning and worship, broad fields with abundant yields, mighty chimneys of industry, gleaming ribbons of steel and concrete, the avenues of travel, and even the trackless realms of the air where silver-winged birds wend their way. This glorious scene may be obscured by clouds of emotion and mist of doubt, but I am still the symbol of hope and courage. Because I am inseparably linked with the highest ideals, I humbly breathe a prayer that I may ever be worthy of the reverence given me, that the radiant of my colors may never be dimmed by compromise with pettiness, that those who acknowledge me as their emblem may never cause me to be lowered in disgrace, and that the faith of our fathers may so encompass our land that as a spiritual emblem, I may still continue to wave above and proclaim to the world the bravery and freedom of my people.
President of the Cuyahoga County Soldiers and Sailors Monument, Ted Prossi, will now give closing remarks.
Thank you, Madeline, and thank you to the ladies of the Grand Army of the Republic and Military Order of the Loyal Legion of the United States. These organizations help us in our mission. We're charged with keeping these names inscribed on this wall fresh before you so that you understand what they did and the honors they earned. One of the men represented here in the monument is not from Ohio, but he led us through that time. Abraham Lincoln, who's been the centerpiece of this discussion today. And here at this monument in the heart of Public Square, we remember his deeds and how they resonate through the age. We also look to what was thought at the time. So the fourth commander of the Military Order of the Loyal Legion of the United States was a brevet major general who served the Union cause from the beginning to the end. And his journal, his handwritten journal from April 15, the day following the assassination by John Wilkes Booth, says merely this: I was startled by reports that Lincoln and Seward were assassinated. Somehow, I felt I was struck. That man, of course, went on to become President of the United States. And today, on President's Day, we remember not only George Washington and Abraham Lincoln, but the others that have served this nation. It's interesting, we're here in Cleveland on the shores of Lake Erie in the state of Ohio, which claims 8 of our own as president. 5 of those native sons wore Union blue during the Civil War. In fact, if you look at the history following Lincoln, of course, when he was assassinated, his vice president took over, Andrew Johnson. 5 of the next 6 men elected as president were from Ohio. All 5 of those were Union veterans. 3 of those had substantial connections, both politically in the state of Ohio, serving in public office, but also here in Northern Ohio. President Rutherford B Hayes, elected as the 19th president, elected to live out his life in Fremont, Ohio, and in fact was stricken with his fatal illness while here in Cleveland. He was a trustee of Ohio State University. He's excuse me, for those of you who are Buckeyes, The Ohio State University. A graduate of Kenyon College who went on to become a graduate of Harvard Law School. He was followed immediately by James A. Garfield, born in what is now Moreland Hills, the last log cabin president, who went on to Hiram and Williams College, becoming President of the United States and struck down by an assassin's bullet. Preceding both of them was U.S. Grant, another Ohioan, and following both of them was Benjamin Harrison, born in North Bend down by the Ohio River. The last of the five was William McKinley, born in Niles, Ohio, who lived out the rest of his life in Canton, Ohio, and his home, his memorial and grave may be visited now in Canton, and his memorial in Niles may be visited. So we remember these men who were active, who served, who took part in this fight, who led the men whose names you see on the walls around us. So on a day like today, it's a time to look back and think about these people, men and women, who helped to make the country what it is today. On behalf of the Soldiers and Sailors Monument Commission and those associated with us, we want to thank our guests today. We want to thank you for attending. I think, Madeline, you're about to announce the benediction? Thank you.
Would Robert Rock please come forward to give the benediction?
Thank you, Madeline. We can bow our heads, please. May thy blessing be upon us as a people, that we may be thy people, true and righteous in all of our ways, tender and patient in our charity, though resolute for the right, careful more for the downtrodden than for ourselves, eager to forward the interests of every citizen throughout the land, so that our country may be indeed one country, from the rivers to the seas, from the mountains to the plains. Amen.
This concludes our program for President's Day and the 160th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln passing through Cleveland on his way to his inauguration. We thank you all for attending today.